Hi everybody, I am here for this week's pregnancy. How far along? I am 33 weeks today, which is so awesome. I woke up this morning and I went, wow, if he wants to come in a month, that's totally okay. He is the size of a ferret today, or a pineapple, or a head of cauliflower, or a tennis racket. And none of those things to me really compare size-wise. In one of my apps on the video that they do mention and make a point to mention that because we're getting to the later stages of pregnancy, it is a lot harder to make a generalization about how big or long a baby. He could be bigger or smaller than any of those things. We don't know. Weight gain. I am up 1 pound from last week, so I'm up 12 pounds for the pregnancy, which is really good. Recommended weight gain for me is 15 pounds because I was over when I started the pregnancy. 12 pounds, and I've got somewhere between 4 and 9 weeks left, depending on when he decides to make his. Pretty good. I'm happy with that pregnancy-wise. This week it's been a bit easier to come to terms with weight gain, and like I've mentioned before, in terms of pregnancy related weight stuff, I'm totally fine. I have no issues gaining weight for baby, but there is a piece of my brain that's, you know, me as my own person and has nothing to do with pregnancy, that little section of me has a hard time, but it has been a lot easier to process this week. Stretch marks, still no new ones. I am religiously doing lotions and oils and body scrubs, and I fully know that those are not going to prevent any like genetic stretch marks that come up, and I fully expect to get stretch marks at some point, whether that's tomorrow or whether that's right after delivery. I fully expect them to come, but if I can prevent them or keep them from getting really bad, then obviously that would be kind of. So sleep is still pretty good. I am trying to sleep on my left side. That tends to be very hard for me. I usually sleep on my right side, and during pregnancy I have been either wanting to sleep on my stomach or my back, which is really weird. It is hard not to sleep on my back, so I've been making sure to sleep with my pregnancy pillow, and I will start out on my back and then kind of angle myself, so at least I'm at an angle, not like flat on my back. But I am trying to make sure that I'm sleeping really on my. I'm only having SPD pain if I use one leg to push myself up to turn over. I am trying to either keep my legs straight out and then turn over, or to keep both of my knees together and use both of my feet to push my hips up so that I can turn one way or another. Best moment of the week, like Wednesday-ish, I was walking around and baby rolled and pushed his legs out and it like took my breath. He's really solidifying in there, and his movements are getting really strong, and it was just kind of cool to realize how, not only how big he's getting, but just how mobile and how strong movements. We're having a lot less erratic, crazy freak out movements, and a lot more just rolling. I'm assuming that's because he's losing space. So some of those movements do take my breath away. He'll push out on the side or he'll push up, and it just kind of makes me lose my breath for a second, or like flinch. I'll go, oh, okay, hi. Queasy or sick? Nothing this week. Leaking, yes, lots of colostrum leakage, which, let me tell you how ridiculously excited I am about all of the leakage that I have had during pregnancy. It sounds so stupid, but anybody who is stubbornly dead set on breastfeeding and is worried that they aren't going to be able to would understand why I'm so excited about and I've had very reactive tissue, and I took a breastfeeding class this Saturday, and it's just very encouraging to know that my breasts are really getting prepared, and they're doing what they're. Obviously, I'm not going to need a huge freezer stash because I don't baby. We will have a small freezer stash for when I go to Pole, or if I need to go to the grocery store, so that if baby gets hungry while I'm out, they're not stuck with a screaming baby. We have milk. So we do plan on having at least some freezer stash, but if I have an oversupply, I fully plan up and then being able to donate breast. Amazing. I'm totally amazed by my body right now. Between pregnancy and breastfeeding preparedness, I am amazed at my body. So, rant over. Labor signs, none really. I have been having some Braxton Hicks still, nothing. Although I am finding it's harder to get as much water in because I have less room in my stomach. So I'm having to drink smaller amounts of it throughout the day more often, which, like I said, is hard because I already drink a lot of water. If I haven't had enough water for the day, or if I've been really, really active during the day, I will have some more Braxton Hicks in the evening, but nothing major, nothing painful, nothing with anything else attached. So my belly button is still happy or moody most of the time. Definitely happy, very excited, I'm loving this, guys. I really, I will say the one thing that is making me kind of here, and I have noticed that when it's getting cold, when I breathe, it feels cold in my nasal passageways, which gives me a headache, and that tends to make me a bit. Wedding rings, on or off, they are still on. I'm very excited about them. Other symptoms that I haven't talked about, about a week and a half ago, I went to the bathroom, and when I wiped, I had some mucus. It was not watery, it was very sticky, it was very, mucus plug. So there was no bleeding, no anything with it. It was just a small chunk and nothing to write. Heavy belly, heavy baby. So especially when I lay down on my side, I can feel the strain. Like if I'm laying on my left side, I can feel the strain on my right side of my belly because it's, heavy. And it's not necessarily sticking out super far, but it's heavy. And he has been engaging and disengaging. So he's been dropping and then moving back up, which is really funny to see because there are some times where I'll go to take, like this morning I went to take a picture in the mirror of me at 33 weeks, and I took one picture, but my face was really, really funky, so I went to take another picture, and just in the time that it took me to go, oh no, that's not a great picture, I'm gonna take one more, and then took that other picture, he went from dropped to up, and you can see that change. It's like you can see he went from lower to higher, and he'll do this all day. Something that I have noticed is that towards the end of the night, his way to tell me to, go lay down or go take a rest or whatever, go the heck to, you'll notice that he will move up as far up into my ribs and just curl up and stay there until I go lay down. And then he just kind of relaxes out and it's like, okay, thanks. So that's been really weird that it's almost as if he knows. He's like, hey, you're tired, I'm tired, let's move it on. We've been having a lot of baby hiccups. They're not every night at this point, but it definitely seems that, 7:30 is definitely a normal time for him to have hiccups. And somebody on my Facebook who is a nurse training to be a baby postpartum specialist has said that can be a sign of colic or reflux. So to be prepared. Things to know. Oh, the perinatologist is pretty pissed at me. I was supposed to have an ultrasound at 33 weeks to check the placement of the placenta, and I moved it to 36. They gave me 5 weeks, from 28 weeks to 33 weeks, to measure where the placenta. I feel like if 5 weeks was going to potentially be enough, but not necessarily enough time for the placenta to move, enough so that they're happy, how much more can change in 3 weeks? And if they weren't happy with where the placenta was, were they then going to say, okay, well, let's have one at 34 weeks, and then at 35 weeks, and then at 36 weeks, until they want to schedule a C-section or everything looks fine. And I don't want to expose him to that much ultrasound. I don't want to be pushed into a C-section unnecessarily, let's just say that. So I moved it to 36 weeks. The perinatologist actually called me personally. My midwife appointment next is April 7th, and then I will have a midwife appointment that's a home visit on April 24th. We are also meeting with a lot of doulas, so that's exciting. Hopefully we find one that will be here for, and I will talk to you guys later.